Hey, how's it going everyone, and welcome to the summer content update video. In this video, I'm going to be covering the upcoming content for the months of July, August, and September. Talk about my plans for videos in those coming months. So let's get to it. So to start off, I want to recap quickly about the things that I uploaded last quarter. I felt that, things got a little bit disorganized towards the end of, the quarter, especially, this past month in June. I sort of missed the dates for that I usually have planned out for when I upload videos. I try to adhere to a schedule in my head, and some of that stuff didn't exactly come together that well at the end, but a lot of it's just been down to just me being super busy at work. Things have just been unrelenting, and as a result, I've kind of been exhausted. I don't know if you guys can tell right now, even it's like I'm trying to put out the energy to do this video, and I even barely have that. So, but things are good, honestly, and although I've been busy and stuff, it's good to be productive and to get things done. So I've been doing that at the very least. And just trying to squeeze out videos here and there for you guys, sort of in between. So I think some of the highlights that I uploaded, if you're just sort of tuning in now or want to get an idea of what I uploaded this past quarter, some of the stuff that I did was cover E3 in just a very minor capacity. I watched the press conferences and give you guys my thoughts in a video a few weeks ago. I also did an updated review on both the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X after 6 months of owning those consoles. Sort of where I feel about where they are right now at that moment, and how they're progressing, and some of the issues that I had in my initial week 1 impressions have now been fixed since then. And then back in April, towards the beginning of the quarter, I actually uploaded both my 3 Xbox 360 and my updated PlayStation 3 game collection videos. So I pretty much, at least at this point, uploaded all the game collection videos I can. There's a few other collections I can do here or there, but stuff isn't ready, so I'm going to have to sort of put those off to the side. But you guys know me, I'm always sort of working towards building out these collections, and so, I'll update you guys as soon as I have one that is complete. And then I also, pretty excitingly, I also went back and sort of revisited Mirror's Edge Catalyst now during its 5-year anniversary. I talked about what my feelings and thoughts would be for a sequel to that game, me being a huge fan of the franchise. And it was sort of an homage to my really old video I did almost 10 years ago at this point. Talk about how to make Mirror's Edge 2 the game of the year. Well, I did how to make Mirror's Edge 3 the game of the year as well. So if you're a Mirror's Edge fan and you're in the mood for some Mirror's Edge content, that's a video specifically talking about my thoughts, my creative ideas and things like that, as well as other people from the community who have also kind of joined in on the comments and given their 2 cents as well. So that was also pretty exciting, and happy to actually put that out. So let's talk about the upcoming stuff for this quarter of the year. So typically around this quarter is where we have a little bit of downtime. Game releases start slowing down here and there, and things sort of start kind of hitting a sort of intermission point between sort of the more hectic releases coming towards the end of the year, and then the stuff that we're currently playing that has come out essentially from April, May, and June. I had initially made a hindsight 2020 bold statement about me actually completing my backlog in time already for the summer of 2021. I ended up spending a lot more time with some games than I actually anticipated. In particular, Yakuza 7 took me a good month and a half to actually get through that game. And I really enjoyed it. I spent like 45 hours in the game. It's easily the longest Yakuza game, in the franchise in my opinion, but all of them have been fairly long. It's just that this one actually took a long time because it's more of an RPG-driven game now. And so I had a really good time with the game, really enjoyed it, but again, it did take me like a month and a half to get through it because there was just so much content. So that sort of kind of, pushed me back in towards of catching up, and just to keep you guys updated in terms of where I'm at right now, I'm actually about to start Nier Replicant, the remake of the original Nier. So after that, I got Returnal, then I have the games that have come out in May. So I'm almost there, I'm almost caught up, right? The good news is that a lot of those games that I just mentioned aren't going to take, a month and a half like Yakuza 7. They're not full-blown RPGs. A lot of these games aren't even open-world games to begin with. So I'm hoping that I can just kind of breeze through these games in a matter of maybe, a week or 2, maybe 3 weeks at most. I know Returnal might take me a long time because of the type of game it is, but you know, at least I'm making steady progress. And the nice thing is that, you know, release schedules in of themselves have just not, they haven't picked up much pace, you know, significantly to the point where it's like, okay, now I'm just getting bogged down. We got a few smaller games coming out, you know, this quarter in particular, but a lot of stuff we're sort of waiting to October and November until that stuff is coming out. So I am confident, however, I am confident that I will get through my backlog before the fall of 2021, which is October. Before all those games start coming out, I should get through my current gen backlog, and I'll upload a video when I do that to you guys, and which is actually going to be awesome because I'll be able to actually bring forward newly released content and gameplay videos. And that's something I've been really wanting to get back on this channel, is just sort of raw, you know, gameplay videos with live commentary and stuff like that, rather than these sort of gameplay discussions, which has just been me sort of talking about stuff in between me playing other games, and just sort of gameplay takes a back seat, it's sitting in the background. So what I wanted to do was to have actual gameplay content on this channel. That's something I'm going to be looking forward to and really focusing on as I sort of catch up with my backlog and start playing the games on release as they're actually, you know, coming out, which is great. So looking forward to that. Other than that, I was looking at sort of the stuff that was sort of coming out, you know, this quarter of the year, and I was looking at sort of where I'm at and type of content that I would be making. I think, honestly, you know, there's some cool stuff sort of that I'm looking forward to actually doing. But more excitingly is I'm actually almost done with my Gen 8 backlog, which is really awesome. So I have multiple backlogs kind of going at the same time, but sort of in between these more, you know, in between the current games that are coming out, I've been playing a lot of games that were on my PlayStation 4 and Xbox One that I never got to. I never actually, you know, was able to get through them. I just sort of put them off to the side and had a, you know, I'll get to it later mentality with a lot of them. So the good news is I'm actually, within the next few weeks, I should have actually completed every single game that I have for both the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4, which is great because what this is going to mean for you guys is just more reminiscing videos of some of these older games that I had for the 360 and the PlayStation 3 in particular. You know, and kind of bringing in sort of those older games, which are kind of fun to revisit and go back to, but bringing those in to the channel to sort of revisit and give you guys my 2 cents on what the experience was like. So I am looking forward to that personally. We also have some multiplayer content and stuff happening this quarter as well, so let me get to that right now. So I fully expect that we're going to get a Battlefield 2042 beta sometime this quarter, and I also expect that we're going to get a Halo Infinite beta as well sometime this quarter. Now, none of these have been confirmed, but, you know, if you kind of look at history and kind of where we're at with things, it kind of makes sense for us to have a sort of a multiplayer beta or a demo in some capacity for some of these games, especially because it gives the developers a chance to really put in feedback. In the case of like DICE with Battlefield, you know, we've had sort of a Battlefield beta, you know, ever since Bad Company 2, way back then. So it kind of makes sense for them to continue on that trend and to give us a full-on Battlefield 2042 beta, which, you know, to be honest, I'm lukewarm on the game. I think it looks really cool. I like the gameplay that was at the Microsoft conference, but, you know, I'll probably end up getting it because I just miss Battlefield so much. I just wish it was a full-fledged Battlefield experience and not this sort of multiplayer-focused shooter, but, you know, that's a conversation for a different time. In addition to that, Rockstar is actually shutting down the servers for Max Payne 3 on the Xbox 360 and PS3. Now, the reason this is a little bit interesting is because I have the game on PC. I love Max Payne 3. It's pretty much my favorite Rockstar game. I think it's the best playing Rockstar game even to this date. And I love the multiplayer. I was a huge fan of the multiplayer back in the day. I uploaded all these videos. I did a full playthrough of the game on PC. That was back when I had my camera and shit, you know, doing videos and stuff like that. So I am actually considering, well, here's the interesting thing, right? Rockstar says they're shutting down the servers for Max Payne 3 on Xbox 360 and PS3. They do not mention PC. I don't know if the PC servers live on a different, like if they're just hosted differently or if they're not part of the same network or whatever the case may be. But they're basically telling you that the servers for Max Payne 3 are going to be closing sometime in, I think it's August or the end of September or something like that. It might even be July. That they're closing down the servers for the console versions. Now, they didn't mention the PC version, so you would assume, okay, the PC version is okay. The thing is, I haven't played Max Payne 3 in like 8 years or so at this point. It's been a really long time. Actually 9 years now that I think about it. It's been a really, really long time since I've last played Max Payne 3. And I love the game to death. So, you know, I am really considering sort of going back to the multiplayer of that game, similar to how I did with the Uncharted 2 and 3 multiplayer videos. Do an hour gameplay, you know, before they shut off the servers. You know, I don't know, again, I don't know if they're shutting off the servers for PC, but before they shut off the servers for consoles, check the game out on PC, do some multiplayer footage for you guys, and just sort of play the game again after all these years. It might just be fun, even if they aren't shutting down the servers, I probably will still consider doing it, because, again, it's just such a fun multiplayer. It's my favorite multiplayer that Rockstar's ever done for any of their games, and Max Payne 3 was just a phenomenal, phenomenal shooter in my opinion. So it'll be nice to actually revisit that game after all these years, that multiplayer in particular, and really, you know, get a sense of what people, you know, who are playing the game and stuff like that. So I think last time, the reason I stopped playing it back when it came out is because a lot of people weren't playing the game anymore. The servers were kind of dead, but I think it's picked up traction since then. And now that Rockstar has officially announced that they're closing the servers, I would assume that many people are going to go back and actually play the game. So before the servers get shut down, at least on the console side, I will check out the game's multiplayer once again in sort of a goodbye fashion to how I did with Uncharted 2 and Uncharted 3's multiplayer before they shut down the servers for that game, okay? So I am looking forward to that. It's going to be something else, something different to get on the channel, and I sort of missed doing those multiplayer videos since then. I haven't done multiplayer videos for a game in a very, very, very long time. So looking forward to that, and it'll be cool to get that up on the channel. So in addition, Ubisoft has also announced the closure of both Rainbow Six Vegas games as well as Ghost Recon Future Soldier, the multiplayer servers for those games on consoles. Now, they haven't given a date for when these games servers will get shut down. I don't know if it's going to be happening sooner rather than later, but if it does happen, let's say sometime during this quarter, then yes, I will go back to those multiplayers and actually play the game. I never played Rainbow Six Vegas 1, but I played Vegas 2, and I don't think I played the multiplayer for Vegas 2. So this will be kind of interesting for me to, you know, I really don't remember the game at all, to be honest with you. This was way back very early on. So it'll be interesting for me to play those games online and to see sort of how it was. In addition to that, Ghost Recon Future Soldier, I did play, and I did actually cover and do multiplayer videos for you guys. So I'm a little bit more familiar with the multiplayer for that, but it's been so long. So I'm going to revisit those games. You know, if Ubisoft should shut down the servers sometime during the quarter of this year, you'll also see content for that coming up as well. And I think sort of in between these videos, I'm going to have more gameplay discussions. It's kind of getting harder to come up with topics that are relevant. But I'm sort of taking my time and really trying to nail down some really interesting topics. As I said, when I start catching up on my backlog and when I'm now playing sort of the modern new releases, I'll be doing more live gameplay videos for you guys, and that I'm particularly looking forward to do because it's going to be nice to actually return to doing live commentary and gameplay for you guys on this channel. It's something I felt that, you know, it's sort of been the bread and butter on this channel ever since its inception. So to finally do that again, it'll be really nice, and I am looking forward to that. It's gonna be cool. I think the only other thing coming up that is somewhat worth mentioning is I will be traveling next month. I won't tell you guys where yet, but I might do some travel vlogs here and there. It's for business, it's not for personal use, but it might be cool to do some travel vlogs and stuff. It's going to be the first time I'm going to actually be on a plane by myself, so I'm a little bit nervous because I already hate flying. But, so it'll be the first time me traveling essentially alone. So it's going to be a good experience, a good life experience, and it'll just be interesting. So I am considering doing travel vlogs for you guys, and I actually might get a laptop to sort of help make videos and render videos while I'm away. So I am actually considering doing that sometime sooner rather than later, so you guys might see an unboxing sometime this month before I actually head out on my business trip. So I will keep you guys updated on that. Again, follow me on Twitter for any updates regarding things like that, and we'll sort of move on from there. So that's pretty much it, I think. Not so complex. You know, we got some videos coming up regarding some multiplayer for some of the game's servers that are shutting down offline. In particular, the really main goal for me personally this quarter is really catching up on my backlog and really putting that to rest finally. It's going to be nice to finally upload videos and content for you guys that is relevant, and gameplay videos that are relevant, happening in the now, rather than stuff that everyone's already watched and seen months ago. So it's going to be nice to finally get that stuff out on there. That's what I'm going to be doing personally, is just making sure I catch up on that, on my backlog. But of course, you know, as I am a true believer in experience games to their full potential, not going to be rushing through anything, going to be taking my time as I always do. But this is something I'm going to be keeping in mind, is to catch up. And honestly, I'm not so far behind, and the games that have come out are not so large and massive. Like it's not like I have another Assassin's Creed to play or another Yakuza to play, you know? These games are much more smaller scale that are coming out, and yes, some stuff that is going to take a while is coming up towards the end of the year, but I can get to it when it's new and relevant and when people are playing it, so it's going to be a little bit different there. So I'm looking forward to it. I really am. It's going to be pretty cool. Anyway, I will keep you guys updated on any changes happening on Twitter. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and are excited for some of this stuff coming up. I certainly am, and I will let you guys know, when any new developments take place. And until then, I hope you're looking forward to the upcoming content. So, hope you guys have a good day, and thank you so much for watching.